Hello, hello. I guess mic is on, right? Hello. Started. Oh, the video is there, right? ठीक है ठीक है इसे बॉटल पे रख दो ना ऐसे हाँ सॉर्टेड स्टार्ट व्हेन आई स्टार्ट द टॉक हाँ सॉर्टेड ऑल गुड Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you, depending on which time zone you are watching me. Okay. So I'm Manesh Borkar and software engineer at BBD, which is located in Pune. And being a software engineer, I have a deep interest in cybersecurity. So with that, I welcome all of you for my today's talk, Demystifying Cybersecurity, Strategies for Protecting Your Data in this Digital Age. Or I would like to call it, How to Avoid Becoming the Next Headline. So, today I will navigate all of you to the murky waters of cyber threats, digital attacks, and something very important which is known as cybersecurity. So that all of you can browse your cat videos in peace without worrying about the hackers turning your life into their personal amusement park. So, buckle up everyone. We are going to take a deep dive into the thrilling world of firewalls, encryption, and why using password 123 is not the best idea for you. So now, what is cybersecurity? With the term cybersecurity, I know all of you might be thinking, right? Cybersecurity is something straight out of some science fiction movie, wherein a Hollywood hacker, especially wearing a hoodie and a sunglasses, type furiously on the keyboard, especially in a dark room. But fear not. By the end of the session, you will see that cybersecurity is not just for the Hollywood hackers or the IT geniuses. It's for all of us. So yeah, now what is cybersecurity? I like to face it as CS plus CS gives you CS. Now some of the math geniuses people who are sitting in the audience might be thinking, why CS plus CS is not 2CS or CS square, right? So one of the CS plays the major role is the common sense. So common sense plus the cyber sense gives us what we require the most in our digital world, and that's known as cybersecurity. But now, according to definition, cybersecurity is nothing but it is the practice. Sorry, it is a practice for protecting your networks, programs from the digital attacks, which are aimed at accessing or destroying your sensitive information, or sometimes even to extract money from people. But now, to truly appreciate the significance of cybersecurity, we need to understand what are we protecting our data against. Cyber threats. We all are protecting our data against cyber threats. So cyber threats are nothing, but they are the basic tactics and the powerful technologies which the basically the attacker use to exploit the vulnerability of your system or even to gain the unauthorized access into your system. And these cyber threats comes in many various forms and each have different way and different method of attack which have the potential impact on us. Now this cyber these cyber threats can be originated like from an individual hacker or a group of a hacker or even from the person who is sitting just next to you. Don't laugh guys because after a couple of slides you will see that why I'm saying the person who is sitting just next to you can also be a cyber threat for you. Let me tell you, each second there are more than hundreds of attacks happen in in the real time. We can just search for the word cyber threat map on Google, and then you will see that there are n number of websites which are basically recording and giving us the live statistics from the attacks which are happening in this world, like from where to where these attacks are happening, or which country is affecting with the most number of cyber attacks, what type of attacks are happening. And this cyber threat map, the websites are so cool that if you click on any one particular country, it will just show you the all the type of attacks or the number of attacks for last 30 days, 10 days, depending on what configuration you have done. So after this session, you can just explore such cyber threat map websites. And this records all type of attacks, such as like DOS attack, phishing attack, dictionary attack, SQL injection attack, brute force attacks, and many more. But fear not, we will just look at the most common attacks which we listen in our digital world. Okay, now so raise your hand. How many of you have downloaded free games from internet? Looks like everyone. And it's fun, right, to download a free game from internet and install into your system and play it for free without paying any money to the developer. So sad. Okay. But do you even know, like, in such free softwares or the free games which you download from the internet, there can be a sneaky programs which are basically waiting to destroy your systems. Maybe I like to call it as digital intruder, which are on a mission to be a spy into your system or steal your information, or even to give the unauthorized access to the attacker. Scary, right? And such sneaky programs are nothing but they are known as malware. And malware are not just simple sneaky programs, but they are the malicious programs which are designed in such a way that it will destroy your system or it will disrupt your system. And this malware can be found in many various forms, like such as viruses. Okay. Now, viruses are these such sneaky programs are known as viruses. So basically, the malware or the malicious software which are designed to replicate itself from one machine to another machine or from one system to another system. And this, so basically, the viruses attach themselves to the malicious programs which you download from internet, such as the free games which you just downloaded. Okay. And once you install that free software or pirated software, the virus also get installed along with that. And once your system is infected by the virus, it will just corrupt all your files, steal your information, or even cause any other harmful effect to you. Then we have something similar to viruses known as worms. So worms and viruses both are on the same mission, just to destroy your system, steal your information. The purpose of virus and worms are similar. But the key difference between the worms and the virus is that worms does not require a host file to attach itself. So consider like if you just plug in a external storage device from one of the system which was infected from our worms, then your system will also get infected with that worm. And this worms does not rely on the user to interact with it. It just uh, keep on multiplying or it just keep on multiplying from one system to another system. And these worms are basically it just create a backdoor also for the other malicious software to be installed. And this ability to self replicate, it makes the worms which is the most dangerous. Now, the malware of this, so there is another malware known as Trojan. The name of this malware comes from the Trojan horse story. So, how many of you heard about the Trojan horse story from the ancient time? Very few, but yeah, you can just after this session read it on the Wikipedia, and you will see that the story which was in the ancient time, the story and the purpose of this malware, the virus, is the similar. So basically, what happens is like the Trojan acts like an useful program to the user, and and if you see that it's an useful program and you install it into your system, then you will see that it is not affecting your system in any other way. But behind the screen is that once the Trojan has been installed by you, thinking that it is an useful program to you, like just and like consider if you download an calculator from internet, but you never know inside that calculator there can be a Trojan horse which has been injected, and once it gets installed, it will give the access to the attacker, or it will inject some other malicious programs or anything, and it will just destroy your systems, corrupt your files. And unlike these worms and Trojans, unlike these worms and viruses, Trojan does not require any host file, and it totally relies on the users to interact with them. So it just cannot get installed into a system automatically. You just need to accept all the terms and conditions without reading. Once then it can be installed into your systems. Okay. Yeah. Now imagine you are at some fancy dinner with one of your special friend and you are discussing about your latest tech project. And suddenly some random guy comes in the middle and pulls a chair and start giving his 2 cents of input to your conversation. You won't like it, right? That's what we call it as man in the middle attack. Now let's see how the man in the middle attack. Like what is the man in the middle attack in our digital world? So it's man in the middle attack. It's a type of attack wherein the first attacker intercepts between the two parties. Like consider intercepts between the two parties without the either party knowing. And once the attacker has been intercept the original connection of the two parties, then he can just access all the information, or he can inject the malicious piece of code uh, into the connections. So in man in the middle attack, basically the attacker will steal all your information, which is being going from one party to another party. Okay. Now just have a look over here. So you can see there are two parties, right? User and a website. So what happens is like the attacker will disconnect the original connection between the two parties, and simultaneously he will establish a new connection which goes via the attacker. So by now looking at a picture only, you will see that all the packets or all the information which is going via the website or coming from the website, obviously the attacker will have the access, right? So this basically happens in the like public like the open Wi-Fi. So that are the common places where the attacker can play the role of the man in the middle attack. So now consider if the user is entering his personal information such as username, password, credit card details, or any other thing. So then the attacker will have all the information. So then it can be used to commit any fraud using your credentials. And this can be, and the attacker can also inject the malicious piece of code in this. Like for example, if you download some cat videos from the particular website, so while it reaches to your system, he can inject a malicious piece of code. And while you are playing the video on in the background, the malicious piece of code can get installed into your systems. Now all of you are laughing, right? When I said the person who is sitting just next to you can hack your system or can be a cyber threat. That's known as shoulder surfing attack. So what happens in shoulder surfing attack is the attacker physically observes like someone entering their sensitive information, such as their username, password, pins, or any other thing. This type of attacks are mostly found in the ATMs or public places such as cafes, airports, or anything. Now, in this, the attacker watches over the victim's shoulder and capture the victim's username, password, or any credential information. This is a very low tech but an efficient way to steal someone's information without requiring any technical knowledge. So yeah, you can also become the shoulder surfing attacker if you wish to. Okay. Now, how many of you know this person? Yep. So now, if you know this person, then you guys know, right, what he does. He just jump into the ocean, capture the people's ship, and then he demands for the high amount of money. Oh, I mean, he's a pirate, right? So he demands for the high amount of money, and if you don't pay the money, you know what he does, right? He just destroy your valuable items or steal them and run away. Same thing. Similarly, something happens in our digital world also, and that we call it as ransomware. Basically, the digital intruder. So ransomware is a malware. So once it gets installed into a system, it will encrypt your file. It will encrypt your file and it will demand for the ransom amount of money. So basically, the money which is being demanded is in a cryptocurrency, such as Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. And then if you don't manage to pay the money to the attacker, then the attacker can destroy delete your files or your information or data permanently, and you will lose it permanently. And somehow, if you manage to get the huge amount of money and pay the attacker, then you can just cross your fingers and hope that he gives you the decryption key. And yeah, according to the Google, like I read it, so ransomware each year, like more than 50% of financial organizations are becoming the victim of the attackers, victim of this ransomware attack. Now, after listening to all of this, you might be asking me, What do the attackers want from us? Let me tell you, attackers want each and everything from you. They want your confidential information, they want your metadata, they want your browsing history, they want your gaming information, they want your date of birth, they want your each and every single data. And this is known as identity theft. So basically, the over here, the attacker just steals all your information or all your credentials, and he can commit any frauds using such your personal information. Now consider if I get your credit card details and a email address which has a weak password such as password 123, then guess what I'm going to do? Now guess it? Definitely I will buy a boat with your credit card so that I can roam. Now, the most common attack which we listen every second day in our digital world, phishing. Okay. So phishing is an social engineering attack where the attacker sends a fraudulent message oftenly to the emails or messages or any other sources. So what happens is basically the criminal disguise themselves to be a trustworthy entities such as like government agencies, banks, or some well-known companies. And and then he tries to deceive the people to reveal their sensitive information such as like your passwords, credit card numbers, or any personal information. So what happens is like the in phishing, the attacker will attach the link to the website which looks identical, almost identical to the original one, and he will create a fear between you and the mail which he has been sent. Like he will give you the time limit. He will give you like you have 24 hours to submit your information or do something like that. And if you follow the such steps, then your data can be compromised and it can be used to commit any other frauds. Yeah, now let me tell you a story. Let me take you to back in 2018 when I was an 18-year-old kid. I received a mail saying that my account has been, limited for 24 hours and my access has been limited. So I have to just click on the link which is in the button form, like, and confirm your information. And he just gave me 24 hours. And being an 18-year-old kid in the fear, I did what they told me to do. I just clicked on the link. It opened me the exact identical website of the PayPal, which I didn't find any suspicious. Okay, so I submitted all my information, such as my username, date of birth, my address. But yeah, I didn't submit my credit card details just because I was not having one that time, luckily. Okay, and then after 24 hours, you know what happened? Same thing happened what they told me in the mail. My account got deleted, and I was not able to access my account after 24 hours. But fear not, guys. I'm here to share some of the powerful strategies so that so you can avoid becoming the victims of such phishing scammers, like how I became one. Okay. So now it's just we have explored to the cyber threat zoo, and we have seen everything from like how the ransomware demands for your money, like in digital pirate, to the phishing scammers, uh, who pretend to be a trustworthy entities, right? But worry not, guys. This is not a horror story wherein the bad guys always wins. Now, just think of us as cyber equivalent superheroes. Instead of caps, we have firewalls, and instead of superpower, we have something known as encryption. So, with that, let's see how we can protect our data from these cyber villains out there. Now, how many of you know we fight fire with fire? Okay, it's fine. Very less. But yeah, we fight fire with fire. So similarly, the cyber criminals are using their powerful strategies and the powerful techniques to launch their attack. Same way, we can use our powerful strategies to protect ourselves from the cyber villains. So with that, let's see how we can protect ourselves. First, most important thing, always use strong and unique password. Uh, yeah, now just think of your password like a toothbrush. Use it regularly, change them oftenly. Most importantly, never share them with anyone, right? Yeah. So using a strong and unique password is your most powerful strategy. You can protect yourself against any type of attack. Okay? Now just go and mix up those special characters, numbers, and mix up the special character and numbers in such a way that you are creating some super secret recipe, and that's too spicy for an attacker to handle it. Now, another method to protect yourself is enabling the multi-factor authentication. Now, the multi-factor authentication is nothing, but it is the process of verifying your identity using the multiple methods before you can even access your account. Like these methods can be like you get the OTPs on your cell phone or your email address, or you might get a set of pass keys. So the pass keys are basically nothing. They are these set of keys which you receive while you are, setting the enabling the multi-factor authentication. And nowadays we all know like all of the websites or the social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, or anything, all of them have the multi-factor authentication option. So you can just go and enable it. How many of you have searched your name on Google anytime? The people who have not done, give it a try. And I bet you won't even remember the photo which you posted back in 2014. It is still there on internet. And that's why I keep saying internet never forgets anything. What goes online stays online. And as a sophisticated hacker can use your such information from your social media or from internet, and he can create a phishing mail or a phishing message which targets you specifically. For example, like if you are a runner and you keep posting about your running activities on internet, then a attacker can use such information and he can create a phishing mail that he will attach the link, the malicious link, to the special offers on the running shoes. And in the excitement, since you are a runner, you will just follow the step, click it, enter your credit card details, and boom, your details have been compromised. Okay? So that's why I keep saying, never share anything. Never share. Think before you share on online. Review your privacy settings and never share anything online which can be used against you. Yeah. Since I received this mail back in 2018, I realized one thing which I want to share with all of you. So Amazon, PayPal, Flipkart, all of them know me by my name. They will never ever try to call me dear customer. So always be conscious on such non-personalized emails or the mails which you get from the unknown senders. Yeah. And if they try to say that you have to click the link and you have to submit your information, anything, just don't do it. And always think before you click on such phishing mails or anywhere. Now, another step to protect your data and you can start to do it right now, is always back up your most important data. You can back up your data either on cloud storage or on some external device. Or if you are paranoid like me, use it both. That's fine to be more safe. Backing up your data won't prevent the attack to happen, but it will definitely reduce the impact on you. Another step to protect your data, right? You might see this screen every second day while you're working. Okay? But you know the reason behind this screen is try to update your systems and software. So that it will install the new security patches and your vulnerability of your systems also reduces. And so guys, never get irritated when you see this screen. So it just keeps the software and system updated to be protected from the attackers. And the additional point of updating your system and software is that you will get new features and even the performance will be improved. Mhm. Now, how many of you, while you're browsing on any browser, just watch the address bar? Very few guys. So now, whenever you're browsing anything on online, just have a look at the address bar, whether it says an HTTP or HTTPS. And if it is an HTTP, let me tell you, it's not a secure website. So you have to be conscious on such websites. Unless you trust that website, never enter your sensitive information like your password, credit card details, anything. And on the other side, if it is an HTTPS, S stands for secure, then you know that, right? It's a secure website, so you can browse that website freely. But still, I like to say it's an internet. Like you have to be conscious everywhere, whether it's an HTTP or HTTPS. Now, just have a look over here and try to identify if which is the real one and which is the fake one. So now both look similar, like both of them have HTTPS, apple.com. But let me tell you, if you observe the L in the Apple, both of them are different. Yeah, the people who are stressing their eyes, please wear the glasses. Okay, now, so this is how the attacker basically trick people. So they will just paste the such websites, such like fake links to you, and once you click and follow the steps, then your data can be compromised to commit any frauds. So always be aware whether it's an HTTPS or HTTP. Just look at the full thing. And if you don't trust the thing, then you can just type manually and you can scroll on that particular site. So now that we have journeyed through the landscape of cyber threats and defenses, it's clear that cyber villains are constantly evolving and they are using their powerful tactics. Okay? But with the right strategies, we can stay one step ahead of them. And remember, to stay one step ahead of them, we need to follow our powerful strategies, such as like we can use strong and unique password. So right after this session, who have not changed their password since ages, please mix up those letters and numbers and special character and create a super strong password. Now, enable the multi-factor authentication. I know that's irritating to you to verify your identity to use your own account, but that's an extra method to secure your account. So please, you can do that. Then always think before you click. Don't be like me, where I click the links without looking at them. And then think before what you share on internet. Never share anything. And most importantly, review your privacy settings and look whether it's you are sharing it to public or a group of people or anything. Then always look out for the browser address bar of the browser, whether it's an HTTP or HTTPS. Then keep your software and systems updated. Next, most important, always be conscious on non-personalized mails or the messages which you receive. I guess most of them might be receiving the fake, the mails which are non-personalized. So always be conscious on such mails. And most importantly, always turn your like backup your always most important data, so that even if you become the victim, I hope you should don't, so that you can still have a backup of your data. And yeah, remember, if everything else fails, turning it off and on is always a good restart, right? Okay. So happy surfing. May your data be safe forever from the cyber villains out there. Stay vigilant, stay secure. Most importantly, stay awesome. Thank you for joining me on this cyber safari. So if you have any Q&A, question answer questions, so let's first take an online question. So any questions, guys? Yeah, Mike, please.
Hi, Manesh. So, my question is how do we respond with a cyber breach?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So I just said how to protect yourself from attacks, and you're asking me what will happen if you are attacked. Okay, nice question. So the first thing, if you are becoming the victim of any attacks, then you can just, first thing is like disconnect the internet, then disable the, what do you say, the remote access. If your system can be accessed remotely to your LAN or the internet, then you can just disable the remote access. Then other thing is like, yeah, you can just change the password. Then yeah, basically this is the most important thing, is just basically disconnect the internet and just stop the remote access, change your password. So basically these are the three things which you need to do. So yeah, I hope that answer my your question. Any more questions? Yep, we have one more question.
Um, Hi Manesh. One
Hi.
question for me is that what if some big cyber attack organization hack the original websites or original applications? So how we
Sorry,
can?
sorry. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so my question is that what if some attackers, a
Oh,
big organization, hack original websites, right? So
okay.
someone big organization hacked the suppose a shoes website like Puma, right? And they can actually attack your systems because you are inputting some insight of data on that.
So yeah, that can be happen, but the possibility of that is very less, because if there is an very, like a huge organization, like consider you just said a like particular website, Puma. So let me make it clear: the particular like the organization or any website, they have their own methods to protect themselves. So they will have something known as like, they will have might be have enabled the notifications, wherein if they see the slight change in the particular website or that anything in the system, then they will get the notify. And definitely if the system has been hacked, then they will obviously just stop their services for that particular time, or they might even or they can just start up the disaster recovery server of them. So yeah, so basically all the huge organization or such organization have their own methods to protect themselves against all these cyber attacks, and they have like 24/7 ways to observe their own websites, and they have notifications enabled for them. So yeah, that's how, So you don't have to worry about that. So if you get 404 from that particular website, then no, it has been hacked or like something like that. But definitely they will have a disaster recovery server in backup as them. So yep, I hope that answers the question.
Yes.
Thanks.
So Manish, I have two questions. Okay. So first question, what will be your advice to developers? Because we are also working, and you were talking about SQL injection and all those things.
Yep.
So what remedies we have to do, or how we can proactively while developing something, take care of such attacks.
Okay. Being a developer is a very, a huge task. So one thing I like to say, if you feel like your system can be hacked, or if you're developing something that can be hacked, I like to say that think like a hacker. Start thinking like a hacker. What you will do if you are a hacker? What you will try to do first thing? You will try to enter your passwords randomly or anything, right? So while you're developing something, always think like a hacker and think like a user also. So what will the attacker do when they will see your piece of code or the product or anything? And what the users will feel when they are seeing your particular website or on the front end side which the users are seeing. And while you are doing the running the things in behind the screen, just think like a hacker, like what will they do? Like if they find any vulnerability of your system or something, and like if you feel like your system is weak, then you can just try to do more particular testing on that particular thing. You can try all the ways of attacking your own system before taking it into the production. You can just keep it in a one cluster and you can keep on testing or something. Or there is another way, is like some organization, if it's a huge organizations, then they can hire a ethical hacker which will just test their particular websites or their particular software or anything before it actually goes in the production. So yeah, that's the way you can prevent yourself also as a
Thank,
developer.
yeah, thanks, Manish. And second question, you were talking about PayPal. So right now everybody is using GPay or Phone Pay, right? And if attack happens, then what should be the next step for that victim? Can it be reversed? Is there any way? If financial,
Uh, so yeah, so the PayPal thing, like I know it was back in like a decade ago. Now people are using different ways of things, but people still are using the PayPal. But your question is something else. So you said like, what if your other particular thing like Google Pay, Phone Pay get hacked or like what is the thing, right? So first thing you can do is you can just contact to cyber agencies and can complain a file against that. And the other thing, you can just freeze your particular bank account. There are ways to reverse the money if you there is a time limit like such as 48 hours or 24 hours, depends on the bank to bank. And the main thing is like it is good if you identify the attack early. At what stage you're identifying the attack? It is the initial stage, or like if you're identifying that attack after a few days, then it's a difficult task to reverse your money. So that's the thing. So yep. Yeah, so
Yeah, hi. So I just want to ask you, can hardware play any significant role to save you from the attackers? For example, in previous days when there was a Symbian OS and all, people used to use BlackBerry mobiles just to save them from the attackers. And nowadays, most of the people think that Mac or iOS can provide you good security as compared to Android or Windows. What are your thoughts on this?
So, yep. I'm not complaining anything about Apple or something because they consider themselves as the most safest uh, thing to. But yeah, there are attacks where your systems can be attacked physically also. Like there is something known as keylogger. Like what happens is if you can get a keylogger from internet or you can just develop one yourself. It's an for education purpose only, and you can install it into a external device such as pen drive or anything. And once you so the thing is once that you install the keylogger or something, like physically the keylogger is only used to get, so it will just install into your pen drive, and once you plug into your system, then behind the scene it will get installed into your systems. And it depends on how you have designed your keylogger. Like if you are basically what happens in keylogger, like it will just record all your keystrokes which you are typing or anything, or it will record the movement of your mouse the in the XY bar and everything. So once it get installed, so once you plug the pen drive, like basically the hardware, so it will get installed into a system, and then your data or the strokes which you are using while working can be accessed by the attacker. He has been which he have installed into the system. So basically, he can store that particular keystrokes in a particular pen drive, or he can design it in a such a way that the attacker will get the mail like after every 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever the timer he has set. And the attackers are so smart that they will while creating such file, they will create an encrypted file, and the key for that thing will be with them only. So yeah, systems can be hacked physically also. So uh, yeah, antivirus plays a major role to protect yourself, but in this digital world we can't say anything, like you can't trust anyone. So that's the thing. I hope that answer your question.
Okay, Manish, I have one question for you.
Yes.
So my question is, so generally we perform penetration testing before we release the application. So is there any specific penetration testing tool which we can use to avoid such issues before the production?
uh, I can't recollect the exact name of the tools of the penetration. But yeah, penetration helps us to test our software as a system before we can launch. But if you are looking for some specific tools which are there online, which can be used, then definitely we can catch up after this session. Like I will get more knowledge about the particular names which you are looking for, and with all the specifications, and you can use the one which fits for you. So I hope that helps.
Thanks, Manish.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any more questions?
No questions? We're good. Okay, we have one more question.
Hi, Should we use passwords managers? Like, is it safe to use them or not?
Good question. I'm also confused with that one because yeah, I keep saying we shouldn't trust our systems or anything, but they consider that they store the password in the encryption mode. But until unless your password are compromised, you can keep using it. That's fine. For the other thing, like you can use the old school method, just write your passwords and keep it yourself in a wallet or something. But still, don't use your wallet. Okay. So yep, I feel you can use that. Yeah, that's fine to use the password managers. But the one which the your system provides, such as Google password manager, the Apple one, just don't download the free one from the internet, okay, please. That will just explode your all the passwords to everyone. So yep, yeah, we can use it. That's fine.
One more question.
Yes,
So,
sure.
should we use auto-generated password? Like most of the websites sometimes provides auto-generated password, which we can use.
Yeah. So basically, the auto-generated password just makes an food which is too spicy for the attacker. So you can use it, but I don't like using it because it gives the 15 characters of password, and it's very difficult to remember them. So it depends on your personal choices. Like if you just don't want to break your head while creating the password, like if someone is, if some organization tells like you have to use your password, you have to change your password like after every 3 months, 4 months, then you can use the auto-generated one. But still, some of them don't take the auto-generated password. So I suggest you just keep your own password. Like you can create something like with your name, like hello, my name is ABC. Then you can just take the H from the first one and from the second letter, then something mix up this something like that. If you want the strategies to create a strong password, please come to me after this session. I will share some powerful things.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
We have one more question. Sure.
So, yeah, I have one more question. So it's like I just want to know your suggestion on this. Uh, Whenever there is always one person who knows better than you, right?
Yep.
So it can be like hacked anything. So what is a short solution so we have a less impact?
So I didn't get your question. Like, can you
I
please
just need
repeat?
your suggestion
Yes.
on less impact. So whenever we have an hacked scenario, right? So what is a less impact scenario? Let you can say it's like I just need your suggestion on this thing. So whenever the system is hacked, so how can we be exited
Okay, the
for
thing
a
like
less
if
impact?
your system has been hacked, so basically the same thing. You can just first thing is you can disconnect yourself from internet. So the
So we
attackers.
can turn off the servers, right?
Oh, you're talking about a server. I thought you were talking about your particular system. Okay, for the server thing, there is known as a backup server always. Like each organization will have a backup server, right? So you can just shut down the server which has been hacked and identify the attack, and then try to how to stop that attack. Anything till that time, you can just keep the backup server run on yourself, and you can test it. You can work on that particular server. So yeah.
Okay.
Always remember, we should have a backup. So right after this session, you have 15 minutes, turn on your backup and save your data. Any more questions?
Any more questions? Thank you very much, Manish.
Thank you so much.
Yes.